Previously on My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss,
Your mission.
Mr. Todd challenged the teams to the most disgusting challenge yet.
Each team is going to get a pile of garbage and some art supplies.
That is sick.
They had to turn trash to treasure and sell it to the public. There, Concat outsold Femron, sending them to the boardroom, and Doug stuck it to the women.
I choose Whitney and Annette.
Ladies,
I am here to win. That is my goal.
That is not your goal.
Uh-oh, cat fight.
Who are you to tell me about following through? What are you doing over there? I mean, you smile and grin at everybody and you're so
And the
open.
mystery boss sent Whitney packing.
Whitney, get the hell out of my office.
Now, Annette's the only female left on Team Femron.
And I'm smart, intelligent, I'm cute. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you want to hire me?
And it's gone straight to her head.
Made a great decision.
Welcome to my world.
You really think that Annette is a stronger businesswoman than Whitney?
Yeah, but I think everything out of Whitney's mouth is a lie.
I think both of those girls, Annette and Whitney, tried to play me and Doug, and whether they flash a smile or sit on our lap and rub our back, it doesn't mean that we're not going to vote you off the next day.
I had to step up to the plate. I was forced to. And I fought and I came back. So having done that, I really feel like I belong in this competition.
Would I want Whitney back here? No. Do I want Annette here? No. It was the lesser of two evils. In a perfect world, they'd both be gone.
I'm vicious in the boardroom. No one expects it, but I am. I'm cutthroat.
If things don't go Annette's way, then she lashes out and attacks everybody. Who wants that in your office? Not me.
Annette has stabbed many people in the back, so maybe one adage is one good stab deserves another.
This is it. The six of us.
Truthfully, I think that Femron is not as strong now that Whitney's gone. I think they made a poor choice. Femron's going down.
That morning, we assembled the contestants for a rare visit by Mr. Todd.
My first reaction was, what's he got up his sleeve now?
Let me tell you why I'm here. There's a guy by the name of Kevin Francis. Kevin was one of the most successful brokers in town. Handled some early transactions for Iocor. Very high level, successful guy. I have in mind that you guys will have a little field trip today to meet Kevin. How's a field trip sound?
Very good.
Sound good. There's one more thing you should know. Kevin is a convicted felon.
I've never met a convicted felon before.
So Kevin Francis, once a powerful guy, then decided to commit securities fraud. Was caught and put under house arrest. Part of his probation involves teaching and helping others sort of understand what he went through. I came here personally to make sure you get my message. Take this in. It will be important. Okay? All right. Go get him.
I think Mr. Todd wanted us to meet Kevin because the person who's going to become the next IACOR executive is going to have an immense amount of power. And with great power comes great responsibilities.
Now, every challenge up to this point has been about deceiving people, and all of a sudden he wants to teach us a lesson in ethics. I'll probably ask Kevin how much time he actually spent in prison and really what he learned from being in there.
Where are we going? I think it's going to be interesting to find out, you know, how close he came to the edge and then kind of what pushed him over the edge.
You know, people get caught and there are consequences that you will suffer if you violate the law.
Wow. Definitely feel like Tony Montana in this one.
Oh my goodness.
Holy.
That is a mansion and a half.
So we pulled up in a limo. It's this big, beautiful, like colonial style red brick house on, like, you know, probably a few acres of land. I mean, enormous. I couldn't even guess. 20, 30, 40,000 square feet. Huge.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
My name is Kevin Ruff. I'm an actor. I'm playing the part of Kevin Francis, who is a white-collar criminal who was convicted of stealing millions and millions of dollars from average investors and who has been sentenced to house arrest. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my prison. The contestants were shocked. I think they expected to see this guy who had lost everything and who was going to scare them out of a life of crime, and instead they find this guy who's living like a king. What I'd like to do before we start is just take you on a brief tour. We rented this ridiculously over-the-top mansion for the occasion, because the whole point of the gag was to send this message that breaking the law was basically okay, as long as you get to keep most of your stuff.
First thing I thought was the old adage, crime does pay, to be totally honest with you, because his house was amazing.
This is based on a suite in the Turan Palace Hotel, which is in Istanbul.
I was surprised at the size, first of all. I mean, an enormous place for a Khan to be imprisoned.
It was pretty amazing. Awesome. He led us to his garage.
He's got all these beautiful cars he can't even drive.
I think there were 6 garages. It was absolutely ridiculous.
He had a Boxster, a Bentley, a Hummer.
FYI, and this one used to be Dennis Rodman's.
Really? Nice.
It used to be pink. I think some of you guys will dig this.
This is amazing.
You guys want to shoot around, you can. Go ahead.
Come on, David. Touche.
This guy's got unbelievable cars, unbelievable house. He has everything. Everything anybody could want.
Have a seat. Then it was time for the lecture, which was basically just an opportunity for me to bitch and moan about how hard my life was behind bars. So from your standpoint, it may appear to be a pretty nice place, but it is actually hell.
Hell is being in a prison like Oz. I think that would be hell. You know, you're in a mansion. He's not getting beat up every day. He's not getting threatened. You know, he did a federal crime.
I would rather be under house arrest than be in prison because you just never know if another inmate's going to try to kill you.
I wear this 24 hours a day. There are places in this house that I cannot go because it sets this off. I can't go parts of the lawn, so that's maddening. God, I can't tell you, on several occasions, the paper boy has thrown the newspaper just out of my reach. And there was a day when I literally had like a rake that was taped to another, stick that was taped to yet something else, and I'm out there, trying to get the newspaper in here. It took me like 2 hours. Yeah. I know it sounds, like a lot, but I can't water ski anymore, and I can't go golfing anymore. I can't go to cocktail parties anymore. Can't bet on highlight, which used to be one of my most favorite things to do.
He can't do water skiing and he can't do, golfing, but he isn't in prison with a 400-pound man named Bubba who's making him his girlfriend either.
Do you feel that this is just punishment for the crime?
Yes, I think the restitution part of it is completely appropriate, although I think the interest rate they applied was not, but what am I going to do about it? I mean, they applied 10% interest, which is going to totally magnify the size of what I have to pay back. And, all sorts of things. You start nitpicking,
He took a lot of money from people, it seems. I think he got off a little easy.
There's an aspect of me that feels Nelson Mandela-esque, in the sense that I am in a prison of my own making. In his case, he made his own prison by speaking out against an injustice. But in my situation, obviously, it's because of crimes I committed. But I think that there's still a parallel.
Wow.
By screwing people over, do I lose respect for him? Yeah, I lose respect for Kevin. But the same way, I mean, money is power, and he was trying to get the most power.
Thanks for coming over, you guys.
Thank you very much.
I think we succeeded in sending a serious mixed message about the consequences of corporate crime.
Thanks. Take care. Thanks a lot.
It's ironic that here's a man with a dream home and a car collection that we all wanted, yet it was his dream prison. A nightmare, if you will.
I have to say, by going in the boardroom, I feel like I have a lot more insight into what they're looking for. Well, the leaders are no longer immune, so whoever loses, the leader's probably going home. I am the new team boss, and I do not have immunity, so I have to kick butt in this next competition, and I have to prove that Mr. Todd made the right decision in letting me come back.
It's back to game time. Let's focus on the next challenge.
Game on. Let's win.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
There's 6 of us, and 5 of us are going home without the $250,000.
I'm just getting closer and closer to the money. And for a while I was like all about the team. It's not about the team anymore. I want the money, and I'm salivating, and I think I want this more than anyone else.
Whenever N. Paul Todd is away running his billion-dollar empire, he sends Kent Todd, his obnoxious, fictional son, to stand in for him. The contestants hadn't seen my character since the ridiculous mascot challenge. I'm back!
Good afternoon. I'm here to set up your next challenge. But before we do that, David's got some housekeeping to take care of.
Annette?
Yes.
Congratulations on surviving elimination.
Thank you.
Concad, David.
Yes.
Congratulations on taking your team to victory.
Thank you.
So we have to pass the torch. Who's that going to be?
It's going to be Damien.
Great. All right. So team bosses, there will no longer be any protection from elimination. Everyone on the losing team goes to the chopping block. Kent?
Thank you, David. Who here knows what market ad projections are? Or MAP map? Anybody? Kent Todd loves buzzwords. He's obsessed with business buzzwords. No? Sometimes called imagertising, future-proofing. Anybody? He thinks these businessy sort of sounding words makes him sound really hip and cool and knowledgeable. Remarkability. Advermation. So you have to find a way to monetize eyeballs. Money eyeballs. That's all it means.
I think he said something about dollars in your eyeballs.
If he just spoke directly, it would be easier to understand.
All these fancy words really just boil down to one simple concept. Market ad projections, MAP, are a visual tool that entrepreneurs use to test the marketability or climate readiness of a business idea. This is where today's challenge comes in. Each team is going to create an ad campaign for a product in the form of a print ad and a 30-second commercial concept. And here's the cool thing about these products. They are all products that came across our desks at IACOR. Are they any good? I don't know. We did not invest in them. but you might see something in them that we didn't see. David here is going to introduce the products.
Okay, products are as follows. The Groundskeeper. Home security landmines. These are controlled impact concussion landmines that you plant within the perimeter of your yard to deter intruders. Second product is called Mother's Milk. Human breast milk for the general population. Scientists and health professionals have for years debated the nutritional benefits of human consumption of another species' milk. And finally, Lasting Impressions, a franchise clinic that provides cosmetic surgery procedures for the deceased. Breast implants, facelifts, tummy tucks, you name it. A host of post-mortem beautification services for people who want to look their best even in the afterlife. So, now it's time to choose the product. We predetermined which team is going to go first, selected it at random, and that will be Femron.
I think we could do something really funny with Lasting Impressions.
You think so? You don't want to do the Mother's Milk? It has a positive spin on it?
No, I don't see how we could spin that.
When I first saw it, I was going with the Mother's Milk. I thought it was a little more marketable. Gatorade and all the power drinks and all the essentials, you know, I think this would tie right in.
Well, because you can do it with children.
Dude, athletes.
No, commercials that are hot right now are funny. Michael and Doug were thinking about going with Mother's Milk, but in the end, whatever gets done is my decision. That was my way of going about things. But is there a way that we could spin that so it'd be comical?
No.
I think we need to do funny.
You want to do funny? You're the captain.
We have to do funny.
You want to do that?
Absolutely.
All right. That's what you want to do?
I do.
That's fine.
I like it. Good.
I'm a little pissed off that Annette chose the product, but you know what? Like they say, you give someone enough rope to let them hang themselves.
Femron, have you decided which product?
Yes. Lasting Impressions.
Lasting Impressions. Why? Why that one?
I think that we can make it comical.
So comical, dead people. Great. Okay. So now, Concad, you have two choices left. Time for you to deliberate.
Mother's milk, you know, that's...
It's actually very healthy.
Yeah, but I'm health conscious. I don't think I drink breast milk. Vitamins are big, but you know what? So many synthetic vitamins are produced this day. Why would I want to drink breast milk from a woman? Here's another question. Is the sale on the Mother's Milk is such a harder sale because it's such a... Nobody drinks breast milk right now. For the groundskeeper, you can appeal to like militiamen or these guys that live in the wilderness and they just want to protect their areas. Probably you'd appeal to people who are like gun owners.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the groundskeeper. I don't know.
And at first, you know, we thought, are we blowing up people here? What's the deal?
Imagine weight sensitive. You or I could walk across a lawn and we get a concussion.
It is a bit weird to think about, putting a landmine into your ground. However, like, people have killer dogs. I think that's absurd.
Instead of having to have to take care of all the costs associated with pit bulls, why don't you get the groundskeeper?
I think that's it. I think we can work with groundskeeper.
Concad, which one have you decided on?
We've chosen the groundskeeper.
Why?
You know, we think security is a big issue today, and we think we can create a creative and targeted ad for a specific market.
Terrific.
You're probably wondering how this competition will be judged.
3 of Chicago's top ad executives will evaluate your presentations and choose the winning team.
You guys got this. It's just all about the hard sell. Good luck. I think you're awesome. And we'll see you soon.
Performing plastic surgery on dead people is not something that I would naturally go and do. But hey, if someone couldn't afford it and it's cheaper after they're dead, why not go ahead and do it?
These were obviously very difficult projects to pull off, but if we were to work for IOCOR, this is what we'd be doing.
They were all fired up to pitch landmines to homeowners and plastic surgery to dead people. We couldn't wait to see what they came up with. For the challenge, the contestants had to create ad campaigns for ridiculous products that they believed IOCOR had actually considered investing in.
Each team was to come up with a print ad and a 30-second television commercial. And we have 24 hours to come up with this entire campaign.
Ad campaigns take months and months to develop, and we're asked to do something nearly impossible in 24 hours. So yes, it was an extremely daunting task once again.
Hi, Simon. Hi. I'm Annette. We were given a storyboard artist and a graphic designer to help us to create the whole presentation.
Biggest point right now is, are we going to go comedy or are we going to go serious?
I think we could start out funny to get people's attention and then go serious. Like it's all old people running, that would be hysterical, and then suddenly they cross the gate and then they're beautiful on the other end. Lasting Impressions is a clinic that performs post-mortem procedures on people, obviously, who are dead.
We can still illustrate the race of life on the beach. See how they got the Lasting Impressions banner? In between that, it's like the race, the end of the race. And the sash says death. The old people bust through the sash is death. See what I'm saying?
No, that's not right, Death. That's not right, Death.
Why the hell not?
Because it's morbid. No, I think just Lasting Impressions is written on the sash. I listened to what Mike and Doug had to say, but in the end, I had to make a decision.
Annette still has her ideas, what she wants to go with, and we're going to go with those. If they end up hurting us in the end, then we know who to put on the chopping block.
For what we have to work with, I think it's great.
Totally.
Do we want to actually see him being zapped?
The intruder could have an axe or something.
Okay, that's good. That's powerful.
The groundskeeper is a home-based landmine security system that basically stops intruders because if they cross this barrier, they get stunned by kind of like a concussive, explosive blast.
So we go back and we see what the intruder's up to on the outside.
Concad's campaign for the groundskeeper was basically having this prowler, outside of the house.
The kids are falling asleep. You see the intruder's face moving in.
And here was the family inside sleeping very peacefully. And suddenly, the prowler gets blown up.
And, he's dying or he's burning.
Groundskeeper, knocking out the bad guys.
Have your living friends jealous of your death.
It's so hard to really think of a good slogan. You'll never be caught dead in a bad outfit, so why be caught dead looking bad in your own skin?
Or being dead never looks so good with Lasting Impressions.
Oh, that's good.
I like
That's unbelievable right there.
I'm in love with this. Are you?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Why do we not have this in our house?
It was challenging in the beginning, but then I started realizing, we love the groundskeeper. We totally believed in it.
I think we're all feeling energized. I am looking forward to presenting to a group of ad execs.
Knock out danger before it hits your door.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again. This is Scott. He's the founder and creative director of the boutique agency Bear. To his right, his colleague Jeff Walker, creative director of Laughlin Constable. This is Jeff DeChaussey, creative director of Tiny Elephant Ad Agency. Scott and his colleagues are going to be judging the hard work and effort that you put into your campaigns.
The judges were real ad execs. They were in on the hoax, but they agreed to judge these presentations as if they were real ad campaigns for actual products.
You're going to be seeing two campaigns today. Team Concad is going to present to you Groundskeeper, a home security landmine device. Team Femron will present Lasting Impressions, a franchise clinic for post-mortem cosmetic surgery. Through random selection, it was predetermined that Team Femron will present first. So, Team Femron, please wow us.
Lasting Impressions is very silly, but when you go into a campaign, you have to believe in your product. Our plan was to go out there, believe in it, and sell it.
Welcome. For our ad campaign, we decided to choose Lasting Impressions. It's a post-mortem cosmetic surgery clinic. Let's see. I don't really like to do much public speaking. First 2 minutes, I almost blacked out, to be honest with you. We wanted to make the idea that death is less frightening, bringing an appealing, even beautiful vantage point on the way people could view death in the future. Excuse me.
Right out of the gate, Mike has these index cards, and he doesn't seem to know what order they go in or what's written on them, and he just falls apart.
Death is a part of life. You have the ability, resources to change it, as well as aesthetic changes leading up to middle to upper class senior citizens looking for a positive change in their appearance after they have passed on. Now Annette is going to take us through to the video part of our television commercial.
Hi, I'm Annette again, and I'm going to go over our commercial for TV. We first see a comical group of senior citizens running towards us before they cross that finish line of life.
Team Femron's whole approach to their ad campaign was to use as much humor as possible, so they created this funny idea of these old, decrepit people running down this beach, presumably towards their death, I guess.
So just picture them running, with their canes. We see a man with a facial rejuvenation, a woman with breast augmentation, and finally, a woman with a tummy tuck and liposuction. We see 3 women admiring a transformation of the recently deceased. I never thought being dead could look so good.
Thank you, Annette, for that very insightful commercial pitch. Now let's talk about our eye-catching print ad, shall we? We have used the common symbol of death, the Grim Reaper. After becoming a Lasting Impressions client, we now refer to him as the Vanity Reaper. He looks very healthy with his post-mortem alterations. Matt Damon, eat your heart out. All of our clients can look better leaving this life than they did living it. After all, being dead never looks so good.
Femron, thank you so much. Good job.
We performed our presentation first, and I thought our energy was great, but I was nervous to see what CONCAD had in store.
CONCAD, have at it.
Watching Femron, I think, gave us a lot more confidence. Even more confidence that we had going in, that all we needed was a strong execution.
The advertising challenge presented the contestants with the task of creating an ad campaign for some products that were just insane.
CONCAD, have at it.
I think Femron's ad was extremely creative, no doubt. But I think we focused more on the 4 merits we were going to be judged upon, which was target, focus, creativity, and benefit. Good evening, gentlemen. We're here today to present our campaign for an innovative new product called the Groundskeeper. The Groundskeeper is essentially a landmine-based home security system planted around the perimeter of your yard, and we're here to prove that our product can and will help. Let me introduce my colleague, David Harper, who will lead you through the TV portion.
I really doubted we could pull something together, but you know what? It clicked, and we were off and running pretty quickly. Take a trip with me. We're in a rural area. It's a quiet evening. The crickets are chirping. The stars are out. It's basically a peaceful, quiet night. Except for one thing. Crouching somewhere in the bushes is something. You can tell by the heavy breathing.
David was on fire.
I was impressed. He acted out every frame of the commercial dramatically.
Snap to inside. What's going on inside? It's a nice, peaceful evening. We go back outside. The intruder quickly hops the fence and proceeds to walk toward the house and proceeds to the window. And we see the intruder is gazing into the sleeping children.
Dun 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 dun.
We have no idea what's going to happen. And then we're back inside, silence. And then crash! And a large elbow shatters the glass. The parents pop out of bed. Their eyes fly open. They're in a state of panic.
Dave wanted to get us all excited, and he was using really dramatic language and scary words and music.
Boom! So at this point, what we do is a rewind. Zip, back to outside again. We've rewound to the beginning. Same picture as before. Same thing happens. The intruder launches over the fence, and at that moment, he's walking along, and it's like he hits an invisible wall. And then the jingle. And this is how the jingle goes to close the commercial.
Groundskeeper, knock out danger before it hits the door.
And that concludes our TV portion, and we'll toss it over to Carrie.
Now, basically what you're going to notice is the theme is consistent with our TV advertisement. This is about the 1-2 punch. You don't want conflicting information out there now. We're targeting people. We want them to recognize the brand. Now, we think this ad should draw you in. You see the boy. You see the stranger lurking. What's this logo? Are you really safe? It instills fear. And that's the effectiveness of our product. We believe in it. I think we all actually now at this point want to buy the product.
I do. Can't wait. Fantastic. Carrie, thank you.
Okay, great. Another great effort. Thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to ask both teams to please take a step out so that Scott, Jeff, and Jeff can gather their thoughts.
So we presented, then we went upstairs while the three guys deliberated.
For me, it's like the sentimental value of going to a little boy in bed. That's just sometimes it's like playing the violins too much.
I just felt like this Grim Reaper thing is, I'm not going to want to look at that.
At least they're trying to push it, and this isn't pushing.
It was surreal watching these highly esteemed ad execs deliberate for nearly an hour over plastic surgery for dead people and home security landmines.
You guys ready to continue?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's bring them back in.
After the judges' deliberation, they brought us back to get the results, and we were all in pins and needles.
Comcat and Femron, clearly there were both positive and negative attributes to both presentations, and admittedly there may be a little bit of A2O here. Apples to oranges, because they were both very different products. However, there can only be one winner. So, Scott.
One of your campaigns created a need versus a want, and one of your campaigns struck an emotional chord. And the winning campaign is...
It's this long pause.
Comcad.
It feels amazing to win the second time in a row.
I'm just happy all the way around. This is probably the most fulfilling victory yet.
Unbelievable. Relief knowing we're not going to the boardroom, we don't have to pack any bags.
Congratulations, winners. Well done. And losers, of course, you will be facing me in the boss's office tomorrow, where no one is protected any longer. And one of you will definitely be sent back to the farm leagues.
I don't think Mike or Doug is a threat. Out of the three, I think I'm definitely the strongest.
I think Annette would take a cheap shot at anything that moves tomorrow. I don't think either I or Mike trust her.
Annette screwed me and Doug over a couple times, so karma is coming back to kick the last girl on our team off the show tonight.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a fight in the boardroom.
So this executive's wife stops by his office hoping to surprise him. When she shows up, he's behind his desk with his secretary in his lap. With his secretary in his lap. Without missing a beat, the executive starts dictating. And in conclusion, budget constraints or no, I cannot continue to operate this office effectively with just one chair. So I start off with a little humor to lighten up what is a pretty grave situation for the three of you. Your presentation was embarrassing. Doug, I felt like I was watching a cheap infomercial. Mike, I thought you were going to absolutely crap your pants. Were you nervous?
No,
You looked nervous. You looked like. Let me tell you something. You looked like a terrified third grader at a spelling bee.
All right, that's fine.
Annette, you were the team boss. I think you totally failed. There was no story. I mean, zero.
Okay, all right. I want to say something. With all due respect to you, I'm a big fan of this team. I'm a big fan of the work you did. Your commercial was not funny. It was hilarious. Frickin' hilarious. The only thing that matters in advertising is grabbing the public's attention. You've got to have braggability, and Femron had that in spades. I mean, if you look, can we all just look at how funny this is? Because look, who can deny this? A bunch of old people, they can barely walk, and they're being forced to run towards us like in Baywatch. It is awesome. They're bouncing around and jiggling, and they're falling apart, and they're laughing, and I'm laughing. It's great. I love it. It just gets funnier and funnier as it goes along. See the old guy up here? The old guy right up there? He's a mess. His face has fallen off, but now look, through the miracle of the product, he's a hunk. He's gorgeous. He's ready to have at it. Now, is that facial rejuvenation? Is that doable with the product? Is that a little misleading? Maybe. All you got to do is put at the bottom of the screen, your results may vary, and then you're good to go. Look, and then the old lady, the next one, she's a mess. Her sandbags are really looking bad. I wouldn't do her, but look, and then she goes through the thing, and now she's ready to party. She looks great. She's psyched. Now, David, can you go to the next one for me, please? Oh, God, look at this one. She's old and fat up there. There she goes through the thing, and now she's Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I love it. It's great. And old people are funny, guys. It's a time-tested hook. Right? They're funnier than a lot of the stuff I see, like the kids cursing and animals that wear pants or talking flowers. I'm sorry. It's funny stuff, and I give you kudos for it.
Are we done with this?
Yeah. And finally, I think if you guys both watched both ads back to back, there's only one that would stand out in your minds.
Okay. Kent, thank you.
Used humor. It all goes back.
Shut up. Thank you. Enough. Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I want to try a little exercise. You came up with slogans to help you sell your ad campaign. So now I'm going to ask you to come up with slogans to help you sell yourself. I want each of you to give me a slogan that tells me why you should stay. You can start with your name, like Mike, and then make up a slogan. And just to make things a little more interesting, I'm also going to ask you to come up with some negative slogans about your opponents. Think of it as a little smear campaign. So, when I point to you, follow my instructions. You ready? Annette, a negative slogan about Doug, go.
Doug rambles when he speaks and can't get his expressions out clearly.
Now remember, this is in the form of a slogan. You describe something, but I need a slogan. Doug, negative slogan about Mike.
Mike, the muffling salesman.
Not bad. Mike, positive slogan about yourself.
Mike will always have your back.
Negative slogan about Annette.
Annette will always stab you in the back.
Annette, hit Mike back.
Michael's full of baloney. He's phony.
Doug, hit Annette.
Annette, the presumptuous queen of hate.
Mike, negative slogan about Doug.
Doug, military bonanza. one?
I don't even have a clue what that one
Oh, okay. Doug always knows he's right. Always thinks he's right, sorry.
Annette, positive slogan about yourself.
Annette is creative and can express as her mind.
Positive slogan about Doug.
Do you want me to lie?
Is that your slogan? You're supposed to start with a name.
Doug. Doug speaks with defiance.
Doug, positive slogan about Mike.
Mike, the best worker, best dedicated soldier.
Lady, gentlemen, thank you. Please retire to the reception room and we'll call you back when we're ready.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go see the boss.
Mike, Doug, or Annette? Who's out of here?
Good. Good. Kent, go get him.
Hi, everybody. The wait is over.
So I started with a joke tonight. So I think it'll be fitting to end with a joke. I can sum up my decision with a joke. A boss comes back to his office from lunch. He's got a few new jokes he wants to tell. So he calls all his employees into his office to tell them the jokes. They listen to the jokes. And they laugh. And they laugh. And they laugh. Except for one guy. He's in the back. He's not laughing. So the boss says, "Hey, you in the back. How come you're not laughing?" And the guy in the back goes, "I'm quitting on Friday." You get the symbolism? You get the, okay, well, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Doug. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Doug.
Doug who?
Doug, get the hell out of my office.
Thank you.
So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
Wonderful.
How do you feel, man?
I think I just peed myself. He's tingling
I'm
all
sorry
over.
to hear that. Look, neither of you will be team boss for the next challenge. So in the meantime, you earned your break. Come back to the penthouse and celebrate your victory.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Todd said, "I'm not looking for another suit." With my Wall Street background, I guess I could be classified as a suit. Maybe the credentials I have are a little bit more than what he was looking for. Thanks for everything, Jason. Appreciate the opportunity. Take care of the big man, big man.
Will do.
This was the first time that I've met the billionaire. I guess my expectations were pretty high, and maybe they weren't met. I'm better than any suit he's probably seen.
Next week, we're down to just 5. And their challenge?
You are going to be selling something that the people of this fine town absolutely hate.
Mr. Todd sends the contestants out onto the streets of Chicago.
We had to go out there and sell derogatory statements about Chicago. That wouldn't be for us.
No.
For real.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That no one in their right mind would buy.
That's kind of lame for me.
No.
No, I don't think so.
And
You are in dire circumstances.
not 1, but 2 contestants will be sent packing.
Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me.
In the most bizarre episode you've ever seen.